Welcome to this week's episode of The Breakdown. Got a few topics we're going to be talking about today, specifically Le Mans and the Crash Fest at Le Mans. Hey, welcome to the Breakdown today. Today's special guest is going to be Robert Barris, filling in for Neil Adams and Leo Leonardo, who's not in this weekend. And we're going to be talking Moto GP. But before we get started, we're going to talk about World Superbike real quick because we're going into a big weekend. This weekend they are headed over to Imola. They will be racing in Europe, and it's going to be a big race. We got Chaz Davies coming off a 1-2 win out of Mugello. So we're headed on over to Imola. We know Kawasaki's chomping at the bit for a win with Tom Sykes and Johnny Ray in the mix. We've got Johnny Ray leading the points with Chaz Davies right behind him and Tom Sykes. So we're looking for a pretty exciting weekend in World Superbike.
Johnny Ray's doing a lot of justice for that Cowie. Doing a great job.
And the Cowies are, a great bike this year, good package, but we got Ducati very competitive in World Superbike. And now right to the meat and potatoes, man. Moto GP, great weekend, big weekend in Le Mans with Lorenzo on the pole, track record and win.
He's got, I think, 63 podiums now. And,
63 career podiums, and I think 37th career MotoGP podium. So it's a great year, and like we said in our last episode, you didn't get a chance to sit with us, but we can't count the guy out. He's a great racer, blistering pace, broke the track record, and also won the race.
Consistency, really. I mean, with Lorenzo, his consistency, bar none. When he gets up there, he keeps it going, keeps it on two wheels for the most part, and it's really hard to fight against that. I mean, if you're coming from behind and you got to push the limits really on your bike. We saw it with Dovizioso and with Marquez in the corner. My theory on that, with all the crashes that happened that weekend, it was chaos. But with Dovizioso and Marquez right behind Rossi, he was taking that corner in tight with the soft tires. And we saw those guys just kind of do a synchronized crash, and pretty exciting on that. I mean, it was
really exciting. A lot of crashes throughout the race. We saw a lot of passing. We saw Valentino Rossi coming back from 7th place, passing both the Spargo brothers. And then, he got lucky. We had a couple guys fall out up front, but he did pass Marc Marquez. He did pass Dovi as well, and Ioni, who was leading the race in 2nd place, threw it away. Bad weekend for Ducati. I don't know what to say. Ioni really up there, hard charge, but he's not on the bike.
He's always crashing there. Man. Always. That's the one thing, Ioni. I love him. He definitely brings it to the table when it comes to competitiveness, but then he's always he's unsure. He's kind of, like to say, like Crutchlow almost, man. You can count on him to crash low.
Crutchlow. I think that's 4 out of 5 races that he's actually been on the ground. And I don't mean to beat the guy up, but he said when he made the switch to Honda, and I'm going to leave Ducati because that was the problem. The front ends are tugging, or the bike doesn't work, but he hasn't fared any better on a Honda.
No.
Honda actually had a bad weekend. I think 4 out of 5 Honda bikes were actually on the ground. The only one to finish was Marquez after his crash, and I think he's still playing 3 points, which would be a big help in the end of the season.
Strong.
It comes down to a few points.
Top 3 guys with Rossi, Marquez, and Lorenzo. They're still keeping it really tight with the top of the points lead, and
switched it all up.
Yeah, I kind of see those guys just those are going to be the contenders all the way to the end. Unless one of them really breaks off. Lorenzo, again, his consistency, but he has shown some flaws of crashing. He already crashed one time this year, and it'll be an exciting season. I think we're gonna see it all the way to the end.
Everything's changed. Everything's out on the table. We went into this race with a 17-point lead with Marquez coming out of Le Mans. Now we have a 5-point difference between the leaders, with Rossi sitting in 3rd, 12 points back. So I can tell you guys, it's going to be pretty exciting from here on out. It's anybody's championship. It's up for grabs, but all your usual suspects are definitely going to be involved. Marc Marquez, Valentino Rossi, we've got Vinales in the mix. And so we can throw this out there. First podium for Suzuki in 7 years. Vinales rode a good race, and I know a lot of people are saying, well, is it really a podium? Because, he had all these guys fall out in front of him. A win's a win in this business.
Yep.
And he put Suzuki on the podium. And they've been performing well at all races so far. And
Vinales, he was one of the guys even last year. I saw him. He did really good in qualifying at some races. And for the package that Suzuki has, they're not really working up to the factory team's, specs in the sense of engines. So it's really surprising to see what they're able to accomplish. We know that that's an excellent handling bike. So all in all, that Suzuki, very good job. I mean, Vinales all the way, get it on the podium. You got to keep it up on two wheels, and if you can, it was a battle of attrition, just like the announcer said.
Right.
You got to get to the end of the race. You have to complete races, and if you can go ahead and be on the podium, that's a win in the books for your foundation and your team.
I think as we go into Mugello, which is going to be the next round, Lorenzo's a winner there last year, definitely going to be competitive, but we're looking at the usual suspects for this next race to be up on top. But it's anybody's race. Definitely my pick for this next race is I'd still like to see the Doctor win the race. Lorenzo did win last year, but that would be my pick, and I just want to see an exciting race for this next round. That pretty much is a wrap on the month.
All in all, I mean, Rossi has to go ahead and put it on the top step of the podium. He needs to kind of show the rest of the field, I think, that he is in it. He is in it. I mean, we can see that he's kind of dicing in there, but he needs to prove to Lorenzo, Marquez,
Himself,
really, that he still got it. I mean, I've got to believe that he does, but he needs to prove it. That's for next week. But if you haven't seen Le Mans race, I recommend you guys watch it all the way till the end of the race. There was some dicing going on, so all in all, exciting to watch. So,
hey, just wanted to thank everybody out there for watching our channel and watching the breakdown, and just to keep you guys posted. Take a look next week. We'll have some information on the next race, which is at Mugello, and just wanted to thank Robert Barrs for filling in. Catch you guys at the races, guys.